Okay, so for this lesson, we're going to be talking about factoring trinomials. Now, if you look at this equation here, you can see first thing you would look for when you factor is, does it have a common factor? And the answer is no. This doesn't have a common factor at all because this doesn't have a t, and the only thing that these would have in common would be 1, so we don't factor 1 out. But it wants us to factor this anyways, okay? And we know when we factor, we're always going to come up with 2 pairs, okay? So the way this works is, to factor it when it's a trinomial, if it doesn't have a common factor, what you're going to do is, we're going to use this little X box here. And you say A times C. So this is A, B, and C. So we're going to times A and C together. But whatever the number is, such as this one. So 1 times 12 is 12. But now we have to add the factors of 12 that's going to, when we add them, make B. And in this case, B is a positive 8. Okay? So, this sounds really confusing, I'm sure, right now. But what you do is you say, okay, what are the factors of 12? What can make 12? So, you have 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Now you ask the question, okay, I need a positive 8. So, which ones of these numbers can I add together that they're going to make 8? So, 1 and 12 will make 13, so that won't work. 2 and 6, yep, there's 8. 3 and 4 make 7, so that won't work. So, I know that 2 and 6 are the factors that I can use that will make 8. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say t, because my t is 1. And then I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to take my big one, plus 6 minus 2. Okay? Or plus 2, sorry. Plus 2. And then to check this, sometimes it'll ask you to check it. And if it does, what you do is you use your full method or your times. And we do it vertically. So t plus 6 and t plus 2. And if you times that back out, 2 times 6 is going to give you a positive 12. And then 2, and then t times 6 is 6t and t squared. And then if we add them back, you get t squared plus 8t plus 12. Now, did that turn back to this? So if I look at this, yes, these are the same thing. So this is actually the answer, okay? Okay, now let's look at another example. So we have x squared plus 6x plus 8. Now, I want you to stop and see if you can work this on your own. Pause the video, and then if you can't, you can just go ahead and work it with me. But if you can do it on your own, then try it and then see if you got the right answer. So that way you know if you've actually grasped what it's talking about. Okay, so we have A, B, and C. Okay, so we make our little x here. A times C and plus B. So my A is 1 and 1 times 8, which is going to give me 8. And I'm trying to get a positive 6. Now again, both of these are positive, so they're just going to be positive numbers on both parts. So we'll do the same thing. What are the factors of 8? 1 and 8, 2 and 4. So which one of those factors is going to make 6 if we add them together? Well, that's going to make 9, and that's going to make 6. So this would be our combination. Okay, so we're going to say, oops, we're going to say x plus 4 and x plus 2. And again, you're going to want to check this. So x plus 4 and x plus 2, and times them out. 2 times 4 is 6, and that's going to give me a 2x. And then that's going to give me 4x and x squared. And that gave me x squared plus 6x plus 6. So, wait, gotta mix it with 8. Plus 8. Okay, so this does match this answer here. So that was correct. Okay, so it's not terribly hard until you start dealing with the positive and negatives. Now, when we have positive and negatives in these, it does get a little bit more complicated. So this next problem, we have Now here, we have a positive and a negative. And if we remember, we think back here to when we're doing positive and negative numbers. In order to get a positive, we either have to have two negatives that we're multiplying, or we have to have two positives. But in this case, if we've got two positives, we're not going to get a negative 9. So we're going to have two negatives in order for us to get a positive here. Okay, so we're going to make our x, and we've got a times c plus b, so it's going to give us a 20, and we're going to end up with a negative 9. Okay, now let's take the factors of 20. So we have 1 and 20, we have 2 and 10, we have 4 and 5. So if we look at these factors, which ones of these could we make two negatives out of and it make a negative 9? And if we look at it, negative 1 and a negative 20, that would give us a negative 21. That would give us a negative 12. And this one down here would give us a negative 9. So we know that this is our combination. So if we write our pair, we write our sets, we're going to have x minus 5 times x minus 4. And then it's going to ask you to check it. So you're going to have x minus 5 and x minus 4. And negative 4 times a negative 5 is going to give me a positive 20. And then x times 4 is going to be negative 4x because we got this negative down here. And then 0. And then x times negative 5 is a negative 5x. X times x squared. We combine them. We get 20, negative 9x, and x squared. And did that match what we originally had? Yes. So on your paper for today, you're going to find the pairs, and then you're going to write this right here out. Okay? Because I want to see you do these factoring and going back and using the full method and making sure that this does give you the correct answer.